3, 4. Here we go. Ha ha. How you guys doing? I'm Brian, your Chords and Notes Nation. I gotta do something about that lighting. I'll do that next video-ish when I feel like it. Well, welcome back. I hope you guys are doing really, really well. And yeah, I'm just gonna jump right into this one. I am doing a really long, extended version of Angel's Cry album by Angra. It's taken me quite some time. And I didn't go back to the first song to check the date on that, but I would venture to say it's been probably about a year. But those of you who have been following the channel, you understand why. Those of you who haven't, well, welcome. And here you have just me and the music, nothing else, and you will get a raw, honest, and unedited, at this point, reaction. I don't know how much storage space I have left in that thing, so I better get going on this. And I think that's all I really need to talk about. Just understand I will be pausing where appropriate and adding commentary to try and add to the artistic creation here that I am listening to and reacting to. That being said, Angra, evil warning. Okay, before they get into it, I gotta say that intro was not very evil. It's not very evil at all. And that's okay. But it was very theatrical and very punctuated. So I'm very interested to hear where they're going to transition to and what the rest of the song is going to be like. Here we go. Okay, first of all, I gotta say, you guys understand, those of you who have watched my other videos, probably Angra and others, I'm not a big fan of that rolling double bass as a backdrop, especially when it's done so often. Obviously, we haven't listened to the whole song here, so it may change, but that as being a backdrop for a melody, it serves a purpose, in my mind, but it, as with anything else, can be overdone. I like the melody at this point, but that backdrop of double bass drum is kind of detracting from that. However, let's continue. Did you hear that very slight tempo change? Or at least what I perceive as a tempo change? Let's see if I can nail that. Hold on. At first it sounded like a little bit of a tempo change, but just did something a little offbeat with the drums there. Anyways, continue. You know, something else I got to say about that, and I think, um, you know, that the hitting of the snare drum consistently also, it kind of detracts from things for me. Now, I understand this is the style of music, and this is a good song thus far. What I'm trying to do is just kind of bring out that honest commentary about what I'm listening and what it's doing within. But I would say one of the things that that constant backbeat of snare every beat and just rolling double bass there. And I don't know if I'm going to say this correctly, but it's like it gives the melody, it's a safety net for the melody. Okay? In so much as you can do whatever you want and not really be out of time with the harmony that the music is playing, because you have that rhythm that's just so very in your face all the time, right? Versus songs where you have should I say regular drumming? What you're more accustomed to, where there's an interplay between the different drums and not just this backbeat wall. And when you have a lot of that syncopated stuff going on between the rhythm section and the string section, the vocals have to navigate not only the melody but the spaces in between successfully. And I think what happens is when you, like I said, when you have that continuous backbeat, it really makes it safe for the vocalist, in this case Andre Matos, to be able to do whatever he wants without accidentally singing off time with what's going on. If that makes sense. Agree with it, disagree with it. That's just kind of where I am right now. Until the end. And that melody right now has a lot of that Celtic European feel to it, which I'm really impressed for a Brazilian band to be able to create that. Not that they're incapable of it, but culturally that's, you know, two different sides of the globe. So I think it's just really, really awesome that Angra can do whatever they want, and they have done whatever they want, period. They're that kind of musicians. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go back because this is the meat and potatoes of this song, and I love that they're doing this. This saves the song for me. This now makes the song here where it was here, but this is what I'm talking about with that syncopated rhythm that you're hearing in this section. Probably we'll call it the middle eighths. Now imagine if that was what he was singing the melody over. It would be much more dangerous for him to sing that in the sense where the song wouldn't make sense, because it would just be too difficult to navigate those waters. Though he'd be capable of it, I'm sure it would change the melody completely. And another thing that vocalists have to take into consideration are the words that they're singing. And English is not exactly the easiest language to sing, especially with all of the syllables and whatnot. So here we go. Let's go back a little bit. Yeah, there was a key change, if not a key change, a modal change, because that part of the melody, and we'll go back to that had almost the Egyptian feel to it, the Middle Eastern type feel. If I remember my theory correct, they're not using a special scale on that, but what they are doing is they're using, I believe it's the Mixolydian, which would be the third position of the scale. I'm not going to get into the theory of that, but if you just the basics is you have your scale C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, which would be your octave, so A, B, to end it off at B. If all the notes remain the same, if you just shift your starting point up to the third, which would be E, C, D, E, right, and you follow the pattern from E to E, okay, the intervals and everything are all the same, but where they occur is different, and so it's going to give you a little bit of a different tone, or a different, not tone, it's going to give you a little bit of a different sound, but they could be, in this case, as the example I was giving was C major, they could be, could have been working on the Mixolydian scale within, or Mixolydian mode, excuse me, within the C major scale, which means they would have started on the third, which is naturally a minor chord rather than a major chord. So pretty cool stuff, but I want to go back and hear that a little bit. cool. Very cool. So yeah, I got a lot of mixed feelings about this one. There's, that's the way it is with Angra with me. Is some of it can come off as a little bit just cheesy. Give you guys some time to absorb that one and get angry at me. But overall, it's just like so kick-ass. It really is. The level of musicianship is amazing. It really is, and they've had different players from time to time, and it really hasn't diminished their skill level and their compositional level, what they do. At some point, now see, I think you guys told me that what is his name? Fabio Leone from used to be Rhapsody. Well, then they changed their name to Rhapsody of Fire from Italy. He's now vocalist of this band. You guys let me know. It's really wonderful. I liked his work, and I would like to, after this album, maybe kind of touch base with what he's doing with this band and see where they're at these days. But this was really good. Just because I have some positives and negatives, and I'll have that about every song, more or less. I mean, there'll be some songs that I'm just won over right away and just love it, and you can do no wrong. But overall, I mean, it's it's a great listen. When isn't it, right? Okay, so another thing is comments. See, I wanted to look at some of the comments on this song, and they are written in Portuguese. Now, I could copy and paste into Google Translate, but I understand Portuguese is a very intricate language, and it is rather difficult to learn. And I don't know how accurate Google Translate is. And with some of the comments that I've been getting, the Portuguese comments on my videos, that's what I've tried to do, and I don't trust to the Translate algorithm to know that if it's being accurate or not, because a lot of things with language has to do with context and how you speak it and what's the subject matter is around what you're trying to say. So, as much as is possible, if you really want to get a message to me, please try English. I apologize. I'm just not in a country that Portuguese is a major player in our language. So, at any rate, that's what I have. It's pretty good. A lot of parts that I liked. Some parts were, whatever. But overall, good. So, be well. Stay well. I praise God every morning that I have breath to draw into my lungs, that my heart beats, and that I have a day of possibilities in front of me. Whether there's good things or bad things happening, that's part of life, so we just need to make sure our perspective is where it needs to be. And Joshua 1:9 drives me. So read it, live it. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And we will talk to you in the near future. Bye.